basic movements and its main points. Hand forms. Fist. When clenched hand, thumb should place on index and middle fingers. Be sure the front of the fist should be flat. Top of fist. Front of fist. Fist palm. Edge of fist. Back of fist. Crank-head hand. When clenched hand, thumb should place on the pad of middle finger and protrude first joint of it. For next size hand, clenched hand, but thumb placed on the pad of index finger and protrude the first joint of it. Finger hand, clenched fingers, thumb placed on the side of the pad of index finger. Palm. When erect palm, called standing palm, and the straightened wrist, called straight palm. It is the same as 柳叶拳 in 长拳. Fingers of palm. Bottom of palm. Heart of palm. Underside of palm. Dragon claw. Slightly bent fingers at the second and third joints and wrist. Tiger claw. Fully spread fingers and slightly bent second and third joints of fingers. Protrude the heart of the palm. Eagle claw. Thumb aparted from other four fingers, slightly bent fingers. Clench big hand. Straighten the wrist and keep all fingers together. Clench head hand. Similar to clench big hand, but bend the wrist of the hand. Four fingers stretched hand. Bend all fingers except stretch index finger. Double finger stretched hand. Bend all fingers except stretch index and middle fingers. The thumb placed on the pads of ring and little fingers. Hand techniques. All the movements of upper limbs in attack and defense belongs to this category. Thrust punch. When the fist thrusts out swiftly from waist, forearm low inward and arm slightly bent, the force comes out swiftly. Double thrust punch. When both fists thrust out from the sides of waist, stretch arms and make the striking arm hit far, the force comes out explosively and violently. Parry. With an external rotation of arm, move fist up to the front and strike downward. Double downward parry with horse stance. Snap. From front of the chest, the fist snaps sideward or backward with the back of the fist. Straight arm chop. From front of the chest, the fist chops sideward or backward with the edge of the fist. Uppercut. From front of the body, the fist swing upward and the force comes out from the top of the fist. Place palm. The fist placed downward with curved arm and the force reaches at the heart of the fist. Inch thrust punch. With a bent elbow, the fist strike forward or upward from the waist. The whole range of the thrust should be short and done with force, which comes out from the front of the fist. Front strike. With an inward rotation of the arm, the fist strike forward with jingle hand, and the force reaches at the joints of the fingers. Push palm. When doing single push palm, the force should be reaches at the bottom of the palm and the outside of the little finger. When doing double push palm, the force should be reaches at the both outside of the little fingers. Double-tilt palms. With an outward curve swing, the palms tilt upward. The force reaches at the fingers. Holding palm. When holding palm, the heart of the palm should face downward, and when making double holding palms, the hearts of both palms should face each other. The force reaches at the tips of the fingers. Sweep. The palm sweep inward or outward with a curved arm. The force focuses on the outside of the palm. Shoulders dropping and the elbow hanging down are needed. Scratching face claw. Scratch forward with tiger claw at eyes level, and the force comes out from the fingers. Butterfly. Push both palms, then overlapping the buttons of the palms. The force comes out from the heart of the palm. back uplifted claw. When making a back uplifted claw with tiger claw, the palm face up and the force focus on the tips of the fingers. Front cut with crane's big hand, bend arm, then cut forward by stretch arm with the crane's big hand. The force comes out from the tips of the fingers. Elbowing. Elbow strikes sideward with bent arm and clenched hand. The force delivered from the elbow. Place elbow. The elbow placed downward and clap other palm. The force comes out from the tip of the elbow. Upward elbow block. The tip of the elbow moves upward, called block, and the force comes out from the tip of the elbow. Four fingers stretched hand push. Contract arm muscles and push four fingers stretched hand forward slowly. Arm. All arm movements in attack and defense can be called arm techniques. Forearm circling. Making vertical circles with forearm inward or outward in defense, called forearm circling. Hand circling. Rotate wrist inward or outward and finished in a catching hand. Also, it is a defensive skill. Withdraw arms. Withdraw straightened arms downward and place the elbows at the sides of wrist to protect the ribs. Arm circling. Bend arm and makes vertical circle with elbow. There are two kinds of circling: single arm circling and double arm circling. While circling, the elbow is no higher than head and no lower than claws. Forearm downward cut. When cut downward with the outside of the forearm, it is called forearm downward cut. Forearm strike. Twist forearm inward and strike out with slightly bent arm. The force comes out from the outside of the palm and forearm. Downward piercing forearm. The forearm pierces front downward with arm twisted inward. The force comes out from the inside of the forearm. Overhead elbow block. Slightly bend and twist arm inward and block up sideward overhead. There are single arm block and a double arm block. Piercing palm. One palm pierces forward and the other arm with wrist bent out sideward and the palm fingers stretch out. It can extricate oneself from the opponent in defense. Stance. Horse stance. Stand upright with feet over shoulder width apart and turn both heels outward. Bend both legs into a half squat to form a horse stance. Keep buttocks in. Semi-horse stance. Similar to horse stance, except left toe turns outward. Narrow horse stance. Similar to horse stance, except feet stand shoulder width apart. Empty stance. Turn torso slightly to the left and shift weight backward. Bend left leg into a half squat and the right foot steps on front with toe on floor. Bow stance. Turn body left and left foot step forward and bend leg with toe in. Right foot at rear, stretched with toe points to front rightward. Dragon riding stance, similar to boa stance, but the rear leg closed with toe on the floor. The closed knee can't touch the floor. Narrow dragon riding stance. Feet stand apart a little narrower than dragon riding stance. Buttocks sits on the cuff of rear closed leg. The toe of the rear leg touches the floor. Drop closed stance. One leg fully bent and the other stand with knee down. and the inside of the calf touch the floor. Side bow stance. One leg bent with toe turning inward, and the other one stretched with toe inward on the front sideward. Cross-legged sitting. Both legs crossed. The front leg bent with toe turning outward, and the rear leg closed with toe near the floor. One leg stance. Stand with one stretched or slightly bent leg, and the other one lifted with knee bended, and toe points downward. Footwork. All the movements of lower limbs belongs to this category. Advance. Rear foot steps forward, called advance. Retreat. Front foot steps backward, called retreat. Forward step. Both feet step forward one after another, called forward step. Lift. One leg rise with bended knee, called lift. Drop. Lifted foot steps downward on the floor, called drop. Front cross step. One foot steps front sideward and cross over the other one, called front cross step. Back cross step. One foot steps backward and cross over the other one, called back cross step. Knee lifted leaping. One leg raised and the other kick off and drop first, called knee lifted leaping. Skip. Front foot kick off the floor slightly and the rear one moves on with it. Then the front leg drop on the floor. Triangle walking steps. Left foot step front rightward with a curved foot and a toe in. Right foot steps front leftward with a curved foot and toes in. At the same time, turn tussle, left foot steps backward with a curved foot to form bow stance and horse stance. Shift weight smoothly. Leg techniques. Front heel kick. One leg raised and a bent knee, then make a front kick with heel by stretching leg. The heel is no higher than waist. Force comes out from heel. Balance should be kept. Back heel kick. Raised and a bent knee, then make a backward kick with heel by stretching leg. The heel is as high as hip. The standing leg should be straightened. Tiger tail kick. The same as back heel kick, but both hands touch the floor to support the whole body. Snap kick. All the movements is similar to front heel kick, but stretch the steps and withdraw it when finishing kick. The force comes out from the step. If the height of kicking is lower than knee level, it is called T kick. Side sole kick. One leg rise and bend knee with hook foot. Then kick sideward with sole by stretching leg. Upper body lands against the other side. The kicking foot is as high as hip. Front sweep. Stand with one bent leg and the other straightened leg. Sweep with toe in. If both hands touch the floor, to support the whole body, called hands down sweep. Scissor sweep. When making scissor sweep, leans body sideward with two hands touching the floor to support the body. Side sole stepping. Similar to side heel kick, but the stepping foot is no higher than knee level. It's also called stretching chicken's leg. Front sole step. One leg rises up sideward and bend knee, then steps forward with sole by stretching leg. The force comes out from the heel of the foot. The stepping foot is no higher than knee level. Sideward kick. One leg rises up sideward and bend knee with sole stepping downward. Then kick sideward with thigh of the sole. The kicking foot is no higher than hip. Sole stepping downward. Then kick sideward with thigh of the sole. The kicking foot is no higher than hip. Jumping. Jump, double side sole kick. Be jumping high. Kick vigorously and swiftly. Leans body downward when jumping off. Please watch again. Jump, double tiger tail kick. Turn body with face downward when jumping off. Both legs close together after kicking. And touch the floor with both hands. Leaping. Leaping forward a giant step and drops smoothly and softly. Elementary Nánquán. During the first stage, you can start fundamental training. It consists of stance, footwork, hand form, hand techniques, and leg techniques. Usually, the experts said, stancing is the first thing in Wushu learning. What we're watching is dancing practice. Horse stance is the main stance in Nánquán, and the bow stance is the next. So, horse stance and bow stance, combined with empty stance, cross-legged sitting, narrow dragon riding stance, and one-leg standing practice are the main contents of the practice. Through stance practicing, one can grasp correct skills of stance and increase the leg strength. The duration of stancing is varies individually. After practicing, massage and relax activities should be employed to release the fatigue and the benefit to the recovery. Combined stances practice. Here are the group skills of a stance. In first group, it is the combination of horse stance and bow stance. Through practice, you can gain the basic feelings of kicking floor, turning toe in or out, turn tussle, and the whole body. In the second group, there are empty stance, semi-horse stance, and bow stance. While turning empty stance into horse stance, the weight can't be shifted over forward. It is mainly on rear leg when changing semi-horse stance into bow stance. While kicking floor and twisting tussle. In the third group, there are 7 stances. Each stance have different standards. You should get this experience first. In a world, much attention should be paid on this practice. Keep your stance clear, solid, correct, and diversified. Through basic group skills practice, the foundation can be established for next stage learning. In this group, twist tussle and hip with force. When making thrust punch, the force comes out from the front of the fist. In this group, holding breath to gain extra force when making semi-horse stance. There are uppercut, press punch, inch thrust, thrust punch. This is a combination butterfly hand push in empty stance, semi-horse stance, and bow stance. This is sweeping, piercing, and holding palm techniques in semi-horse stance, bow stance, and horse stance. This is combination of hand techniques and arm techniques in horse stances. Tilt palm, push palm, four-finger stretch hand, hold palm, tilt palm, push palm, four-finger stretch hand, hold palm. Here, we will show you some basic skills in moving steps. The body balance should be kept. When doing double tiger claws in cross steps, electing tussle and stepping downward should be completed with force. Tiger claw. Snap kick. If kick with hook foot, it is called heel kick. After this stage practice, you can go on next stage practice.